Hi, welcome to Kiss and Tell podcast. We're kissing and
Hi.
telling. It's Dr. Jenny and co-creator Stephanie,
Hello.
and we're answering questions that we got emailed tonight. Um, and first off, what we're going to talk about is to give a shout out on our t-shirts. We're both wearing
Yeah.
Pleasure Professional t-shirts, and
In the
on the
back.
back, yeah, the back is Kiss and Tell magazine. And
Very cute.
yes, and we have to give a shout out to Goody Howard. We ordered them from her, and she was a guest a couple months ago. So, hi Goody, thank you
Hi,
for the
Goody. Thank
things.
you.
So let's start off with some questions that came in. And one of the most popular questions that I'm sure everyone hears from time to time is, am I normal with regard
Right.
to sex? And every time I hear that question, if it's at my office or if I'm just talking to somebody randomly, that is really a loaded question. And what I mean by that is
Oh,
you
yeah.
can go many ways with it. It's not, am I normal? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by normal?
Right.
Do you mean, do you have to have sex 7 times a day? Would that be normal? What is that?
I
So
say yes, please. No, I'm kidding.
okay, so for Stephanie,
No,
normal would be 7 times a
that's
day.
my normal.
No, really, based on what Stephanie just said, that's kind of answering your question. What I mean by that is you have to define what is normal for you,
Right.
you know, instead of trying to define it based on what others are doing. For example, Stephanie is joking, but 7 times a day. So do I sit here and say, am I supposed to be like Stephanie and have it 7 times a day? Or do I sit here and say, what do I want? Do I want it 7 times? Do I want it 2 times? Do I
Right.
want it once a week? What makes me happy? And that's key to what you yourself, what do you need?
That is a good observation, because I think once you get more confident with your sexuality and you learn more about yourself, also with your partner, I think you you get to know what's more normal for you. Because you're right, it is loaded question. I mean, it could branch off into every area, and it's just
Right,
the more that you learn about yourself and and become more confident with your sexuality, just sexual experiences, I think you feel more normal.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 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 the good thing about that is you're not limited. So let's say it is 7 times, a day. If that changes for you to once a day, that's okay. You're still
You mean like because you
normal.
got a job?
Right, because you have a job,
Not
or because
possible anymore?
yeah, right.
Right,
If some your priorities change or your preference changes,
right.
you know, you're still normal.
I also think it's important to add that if anything is interfering with your life, your normal everyday, you're with your family, then you might want to consider, maybe I'm going a little overboard on this or something like that. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like I said, you have to define it for what you need.
Right.
And
Yeah.
obviously communicate with your partner. Don't leave them out, or your partners,
Right.
don't leave them out of that conversation. Don't have them guessing.
Yeah. Communication is key with that.
Yeah. Mhm.
I
So, um, I mean, we could spend the whole session, or not session, so it's a podcast, talking about this. But
Yeah.
there was some other questions that came in, and what was it that you were sharing before we started, Stephanie? Remind
Well,
me.
one in particular that I get asked quite often is there anything for women that will make us feel more aroused, or like a pill, like like men have Viagra, Levitra, all of that. Do they make anything for women that would create that feeling? As we've seen it before. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know some women were taking Viagra, and
Yep.
they were saying that that was helping them.
Hmm.
But there have been many studies that say that the moment you ingest the pill, knowing what the pill is supposed to do,
Of course.
your brain wants it to happen.
Correct.
So people have done a study giving you a pill that has nothing in it.
The placebo
But
is, yeah,
thank you, the placebo
right.
the
Yeah.
the
Placebo.
placebo. Okay,
Just tell me when you want to say it, and I'll.
Not, but when they've done that study about the placebo effect, they've noticed all it takes is you thinking about it. So for women, for us, it is more in the brain. Now,
Yeah, listen up, men. Do the dishes, vacuum, and say something nice. There you
what,
go. I'm gonna be horned up with that. I mean, I know it sounds cliche because we've been hearing that for a long time, but a lot of it, sex is outside the bedroom for women.
yes, it
You know,
is. I mean, if you're talking about the arousal,
yeah,
that about getting the desire,
right,
because there's different stages.
right.
It starts before you're in the bedroom for many, couples.
W-
You know, but,
Well, and
no.
for those that have been in long-term relationships,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and this isn't just a female issue. Men have the issue too.
Right. I
Uh,
know.
yeah, I've seen many men, privately that are not in the mood. So,
Right.
which, like, we both said already, it's in the brain. We need the human connection. It's also taking the time to relax,
Yes.
turning off your brain for a couple minutes.
Yeah, devote the time
Right.
and energy into that great sexual experience that you can have with your partner, or yeah, and look forward to it, all
Right.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the seduction, being caressed,
Mhm.
kissing, the foreplay. Even if you only say, okay, I'll be into this for 5 minutes, if you're truly into it and you allow yourself the moment, the 5 minutes will turn into 6 and 7. But
Right.
you have to be present, meaning it's not about what else should I be doing. Like I still need to clean, I still need to do laundry, I still need
Uh,
this,
yeah, no,
or you're thinking about what a bad day you've had at work,
not good.
or some other life issue, whatever it may be. Like what's the big issue now? People are paying too much for rent. Uh,
Yeah, that's now, let me tell you, that is foreplay.
yeah, I mean,
No,
when you're thinking about your bills,
not gonna happen.
it's hard to, be in the mood.
Right.
So, you know,
But sex is one of those, whether it's by yourself or with someone, it puts you in the moment. And
mm,
it's so nice to be in the moment. We forget about that. And that's
right,
why sex can become so addictive too.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
it makes you forget about everything that's going on.
it does.
If you're able to shut it, shut it down. Yeah.
Right. When you have that connection, I'm glad you said that with yourself, because you can have solo play,
Right.
which is just as enjoyable, or with your partner and partners,
Yeah.
depending on which ones you're on. If you realize before the fact, when you're resisting because you're like, I don't want to, but
Right.
how you feel after the fact, you feel better,
Right.
you know, unless something horrible happened. But in the ideal circumstance, most people feel better. They feel,
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's the only way, I can go to sleep.
hmm
I
yeah.
mean, let's get that off. All right, let's just clear that one out.
I'm tired now.
Yeah, I honestly, I think, why am I so restless? And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, and then I'll sleep better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're allowed to say masturbate.
Well, yeah. All right, masturbate.
It's okay.
All right. My favorite, I call it a sport.
You do.
I'm telling you, I work up a sweat sometimes. No wonder I get so exhausted afterwards. I mean,
Do you really sweat?
hell yes.
Wow. Do you want to share more?
Well, it's probably maybe if you're trying for the second round in a row, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's I gotta put. I'm like, hell, I gotta turn the fan up, Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'll just lay there completely exhausted, and okay,
hmm
yeah,
Yeah, I'm curious about how many people in the audience, female wise, have realized that they can have an orgasm more than once. Or if
yeah,
they automatically stop. Um,
right.
mhm.
We don't need as much recovery time,
No, we don't.
and if you're really in the mood and you feel comfortable, there's no limit. I mean, no limit, really. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
Mhm.
best part.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But, and, like I said, unfortunately, a lot of females haven't learned that.
I know, and I think that's probably what we are really trying to do here with Kiss and Tell magazine, to open it up and make women feel more comfortable. I mean, just discussing it. Let yourself free yourself from any feeling badly, or not knowing, or no question is a dumb question, and really, it's just about feeling more comfortable. Women
Yeah.
need that. We need that. Yeah.
Well, it's not just women. I think, yeah, there is a little more lean toward women on the site. But for us, it's also about talking about the topic, uh,
Yeah.
sexual health and wellness. And it's okay to talk about it. It's not a bad thing. You
Right.
know, you can have,
Knowledge is power.
it is.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
more you know.
And
And
I think it's good to know. Yes, you're right. I mean, I know men, but our society seems to be centered more about men. But if your partner happens to be a male, yeah, the more you know about how they operate and function, the better. Yeah, communication with your partner, or just talking to someone so you feel comfortable with it. Yeah,
right, right.
that's why you came out, not come out. You know what I mean?
No, I came out.
Yeah. You came
I,
out to talk about sex.
I, I'm,
Nothing's off limits.
I'm a pleasure professional. That's how I came out.
Let me tell you, that title. I mean, I'm one of the employees.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny too because from when people find out what I do for a living, they see my business card. or they hear about the website,
Yeah,
I still have people whispering to me. They
I
still have,
know.
they still have sets and they'll hide their mouth. And I'm like, why are you whispering? I mean, I'm not saying we need to yell it from the rooftop.
Right.
It's okay to talk about it. You're not doing something wrong, you know?
I mean, to me, in this day and age, it, bearing in mind the violence that's on television,
Hmm.
but nudity and sexuality is like
But
taboo still. It's just like how ridiculous.
yeah, it is. I mean, I'm like, people have to change their handles and they can't spell the word out. They have to put SEGGS, instead of S.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's silly. I understand there is some of it can be offensive, and
Mhm.
but you don't have to look at that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, we're not shoving it on, commercials,
Right,
your regular television station,
right.
but it really needs to be more accepted. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it needs to be even asked about with your physician, your
Yeah,
primary physician, or your OB, or your gynecologist, or your
yeah.
urologist. Are they asking you? Are they saying, "How's your sex life? Do you need help?" Or they're not asking
It
you.
needs to be asked. How do
Mhm.
you feel? How are you complete? And then if even for myself, knowing that I had a question to ask, I would
Mhm.
get anxiety, for days leading up to the appointment.
Right,
Well, because we do make it feel like it's bad or like shameful, and
right.
that's what needs to change.
Yeah,
Seriously,
yeah.
yeah,
Because you can have the conversation and be diplomatic and have integrity when you're talking about it.
right.
You don't have to, talk about porn in order to make your point.
So
Yeah.
the answer to the question, really, there isn't hard nothing, out there that's gonna make
So,
women feel sexually stimulated.
yeah,
No,
so far there's not
right.
any, I mean, there was things that people can try.
Mm.
There's creams. Some people use pot, or what do they call it?
It's
What,
not called pot anymore.
I know, that's why
Boomer.
I said,
Listen, boomer.
what do they call it now?
Weed,
We
um, you know,
Okay, so I gave away how old I am. No, no, they call it something else, a medical thing that
the medicinal.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Ganja, chronic.
okay.
Well, there's 2 strains. You have sativa and you have, I can't even think of the other one. Sativa is the one that is a little more can make you feel more energized, and
Mhm.
then there's indica that will make you feel a little more calm and relaxed.
Okay, marijuana, how is that? Is that better?
Well, that's still kinda nerdy, but that's okay.
Well, or you can have a glass of wine if that relaxes
Yeah,
you.
whatever, right.
Or you can meditate for a few minutes. Or you can listen to music if that relaxes you.
Yeah.
Or you can take a hot shower or a bath, or,
I mean, I know they make topical like, I've tried the where they are the lubricants that have,
Mhm.
um, some of the, what are the no, like, it'll have, like, weed in it or, and it's supposed to stimulate, but no. I mean, it didn't work for me, it may work for others.
Yeah, you're talking about botanicals? Something like that.
Yeah, well, they
Right,
call it flower.
yeah,
Flower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they spray it on or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, so far, I mean, I'm sure it does something, but it's not enough. I mean, because
Right.
really, it's back to that question, am I normal?
Yeah.
The
Right.
question
Right.
of that your friend or whomever asked, is there anything out there?
Right.
We're all looking for the quick solution.
Of course. Right.
And that's part of the problem because this is not from a female body perspective, there's nothing quick about it. I mean, yeah, there
Right.
is when you use a vibrator. I mean, you can make the orgasm happen faster
Right.
than you could when you're just having, intercourse of some kind.
Yeah.
But you usually you need stimulation to the clitoris to have an orgasm. But
Right.
there is no simple solution. There is no one answer and it solves millions, you know.
Right. Otherwise, well, just like all the diet pills on the market, or if they really work, then we then obesity wouldn't be an epidemic.
Right, we wouldn't have the weight issues that we have
Right.
if there
And
was a simple, quick, you know,
right. Right.
one answer fit everybody.
But if it makes you feel sexy to use it, by all means,
But I mean, yeah, if you need to buy lingerie, if you need to buy special underwear, if you
Right.
need to eat a certain meal that puts you in a happy mood,
Yeah.
like for me, I love lots of bagel and I love sushi. I
Well,
mean,
I tell
hey, if I have those,
you and those that is sexy time. Somebody is gonna get some if they bring home lox and bagels.
hey, I'm happy.
Oh my no.
And I love
Can you
sushi
please
too.
finish the lox and bagels first before you go into the bedroom?
No, I might eat half and then eat half after.
You could be like a George Costanza and bring the hoagie into the bed with you. Do you remember that? Remember those? That was
Yeah.
yeah.
See when you make that comment, I should be able to put that into the podcast. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like there's a podcast of him saying Jerry saying something about the G spot
Oh, yeah.
And George said, there's no G spot, that's a myth. And it's just
And
having that being
promising.
able to, yeah.
Yeah, you should. Right.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not tech savvy yet.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll have to look that
Mhm.
up at some point. So, when's the next time we are getting together? Because we didn't get to talk about. I mean, well, we can. I
Oh,
got it.
we have a few minutes left. Our next podcast is November 8th, and it's also another Q&A. So if you want to send us questions,
Yeah.
send them to feedback at kissandtellmagazine.com, and we'll answer your questions. And
Yeah.
and we usually answer questions from our subscribers before anyone else. So if we know you're a subscriber
Mm,
to the magazine, to the website, then you get put to the top. So
right. Absolutely.
and yeah, so we have a few minutes left. Do you
Okay.
what was the other question that you
Well, I
had?
just thought this was interesting because I have a friend that is Halloween is her favorite. Not to intermingle the two. However, when I asked her, "What do you?" Her and her partner, they do couples costumes and stuff like that. And I said, "Oh, what are you guys going to do this year?" And she goes, "Well, what do you mean this month?" She said, "I have a whole entire room filled with different costumes." I go, "This month?" And she goes, "Yeah, that they get into costumes, couples play different, all that. And I
Yeah,
mean, a lot of people do that.
yeah, they do. I mean, like that article we did about sex room. you know.
Oh, yeah, right,
Yeah, they
exactly.
had their own room, and so the costume, all the costumes that they have,
Right.
it's like a fantasy play.
It is.
It's almost like an aphrodisiac. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's
when
foreplay,
right, right. So
Um,
they know when they put the costume on, what will happen after
right,
the fact, or
and
as
also
you're putting it on, you know?
I think also never underestimate anticipation.
Mhm.
If you talk about it with your partner, um, this is what, let's do this later or whenever. The anticipation is great too. Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah, what do they call sexting? I don't know if people still do
yeah,
that. But yeah, flirting,
yep,
yes, you're right. Anticipation does help.
yeah. So, and I was talking to her about these different costumes, and that's when I thought, wow, there's a several different fetishes that have to do with clothing,
Right.
whether it's the material,
Mhm.
like leather, or the what is the rubber, the PV,
Uh,
the yeah,
yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
that,
I know what you mean though.
I
Yeah.
forget what it's called. Um, and then also like constrictive clothing, like corsets and things like that. That's a turn on for a lot of people too.
Mhm.
Um, I know we've you know broached the subject before. Furries seems to be a big thing, and sometimes it's not even sexual. It's kind of like their safe,
Right.
zone. They like, and I know a lot of younger people. There's dating websites and
Mhm.
conventions that they go to. And like we said, let's go back to the normal. If
Right.
if that makes you feel good and you're not hurting anybody else,
Or yourself.
or yourself, then so be it.
Right.
You know. I just thought, well, gee, I just don't want to get to the point where I can only get off when I'm dressed like a gerbil. Sorry, but I am willing to try it. Definitely, I would try it at least once.
I don't know if I would pick dribble.
No, I don't think I'd pick gerbil. No, raccoon. I love raccoons.
I like lions.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, something stronger. Right.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, like you said, if you're not harming yourself or another person, and you both have clearly communicated what you want from it
Totally. Right.
and enjoy.
Yeah, and a parent, like, going back to my friend, I mean, I have seen she could fill a room up with costumes because a lot of people, once they wear them, it's the newness, that people look forward to too. Um, you know, I mean, I would probably be a sloth,
Well, on that note,
a panda. Now, I wonder if they make them so you can have access. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, they do.
All right, see? Let's
Yeah,
look.
that
I
you
think,
keep it on while you're in the act.
hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
In Florida, we'd have to do it in the wintertime though, because
yeah.
it's a little hot.
So we're out of time. All of our viewers, thank you for joining. Thank you for sending the questions. Keep them coming. We'll be back on November 8th. And as long as you are a subscriber to the website and you get our newsletter, you can send us the feedback at Kristen Tell Magazine, any question. And
Any question.
any question.
Yeah, and you can even be anonymous if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But based on your email, we know whether you have subscribed to the website or not.
right.
So, but yes, as you know from what we just did just now, we didn't name names.
This is a safe spot.
It
That's
is.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for joining, and we will see you in a few weeks, couple weeks.
Thank you.